Hey friend, I want to talk today about the pioneer of the faith movement. You say, Steve, are you talking about Kenneth Copeland? No. Kenneth Copeland actually learned it from a guy named Kenneth Hagin. But that's not who I'm talking about either. He actually learned from a guy, I believe his name was Kenyon. But that's not who I'm talking about either. The pioneer, a lot of people don't know this, but the actual pioneer of the faith movement was a man named Jesus Christ. Yes, Jesus was the pioneer of the faith movement. I know that pains some of you because many of you have rejected the faith movement. Some of you don't want anything to do with it because you heard some faith preacher who emphasized money too much or emphasized something else that you don't like too much. And certainly there have been some people in the faith movement who have not always preached the same message of faith that Jesus preached. But the Bible tells us that Jesus was a faith preacher. In fact, if you look at his teachings, you will find he teaches faith over and over and over again. Many of us have not emphasized it in our ministries, but Jesus did. And most of the time, if his disciples failed to access the kingdom, failed to see a miracle happen when they pray, if they ever asked Jesus, what did I do wrong? It usually always came down to this: your faith is too small. Oh, you of little faith. And so if it was true for them, what do you think the chances are it's true for us? We like to just, if we don't get a miracle, we like to say, well, I guess God's ways are higher than our ways. I guess it wasn't God's will this time. Probably wrong. Probably we aren't walking in the measure of faith that we're called to. Today I'm meditating on this because it's December 2nd, 12:2, which got me thinking about Hebrews 12:2. And this is what it says. It says, fix your eyes on Jesus. Okay, not Copeland, not Hagin, not any preacher. Okay, fix your eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. You want to see what faith looks like. You want to know what pure faith looks like. You've got to look at the life of Jesus Christ. Most of the time, those who pioneer a message are not the people who perfect a message. Pioneering is usually a little messy. Look at those who have pioneered apostolic ministry or who pioneered in prophetic ministry. Our pioneers make lots of mistakes, and we have lots of grace for pioneers because you can't expect the guy who does it first to do it right, at least not all right. That we make mistakes when we're the spearhead, and other people come in behind and hopefully model a little bit more maturity. But in this case, the pioneer and the perfecter is the same person. Jesus is the pioneer. He's the first faith preacher ever, but he's also the first and only to perfect faith. And so when we look at the life of Jesus Christ, we see what perfect faith looks like. And I think it's important, and this is something I want to point out today, is that perfect faith doesn't always mean avoiding difficulty and hardship. Many people who would preach faith today kind of would like for you to believe that if you have enough faith, everything will go your way. If you have enough faith, you won't have to suffer. You'll always be wealthy. You'll always be healthy. I do believe we should always be healthy, but almost the sense that if you are walking in perfect faith, you're not going to have any troubles at all. Well, the pioneer and the perfecter of the faith movement had troubles, and he had to endure things. And just because you're walking in faith doesn't mean you're not going to have to go through difficulty yourself. This is what it says of Jesus. He was the pioneer, perfecter of faith, and for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame. Now that word scorning, sometimes when you hear scorn, you think of grumbling about. He wasn't grumbling about the shame. That word scorn, it actually means he thought nothing of it. He thought nothing of it. The shame, you try to imagine the shame of the cross, not only being nailed, pinned to a tree like a criminal, but buck naked. All right? He was stripped naked, beaten, for everyone to see. I mean, this was the most humiliating, shameful way anyone could die. And yet Jesus, it says he scorned the shame. It didn't mean he was up there grumbling about it. No, he thought nothing of it. His attitude was, this is nothing compared to the joy that is before me. When you think about the joy that is before you, think about the destiny God has for you. Okay? Think of the promises that he has made to you. And when you think about what God has in store for you, what that's supposed to do is fill you with strength in such a way that you'd be able to look at the pain, look at the challenges, look at the trials that you're going through right now and say, it's nothing. It's nothing. This is nothing compared to the joy that is coming my way. The point is, it's worth it. Paul said it this way. He said, for I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that is to be revealed to us. Friends, we are coming into a season of glory. We're coming into a season where the presence and the power and the kingdom of God is going to be manifested in the earth like never before. But I'll tell you something, it's going to be manifested mostly to a people who are willing to pay a price in this season. Don't back down. When you see yourself suffering, when the world tries to push you in a corner and cause you to submit, I would encourage you to remember the joy that's set before you. Remember that God is about to pour out his glory on a kingdom people, and whatever pain you have to endure right now to be a part of that 1%ers, to be a part of that remnant for Christ, do it, because it's absolutely going to be worth it. For the joy set before him, and you were that joy, by the way. You were the joy set before Jesus. And for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, thinking nothing of the shame, and was seated at the right hand of God. Yes, things are difficult in the world right now. Stop grumbling about it and start thinking about the glory that is coming. And you will have the same attitude as Christ. Something in you will say, it's worth it all. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what's coming my way. It is worth it all. Cheer up! God has good things in store for you. Don't bow. Just keep saying yes to God. Keep leaning in. It's going to take you somewhere wonderful. I hope this was a blessing to you. If you haven't already, be sure to share and like and join our Oil Patch Pulpit community. All you have to do is send me an email to feedback@oilpatchpulpit.com. Say, Steve, I like your stuff. If you live close enough to Drayton Valley that you'd be willing to drive for a gathering or anything, you can also add in there, please inform me of gatherings. I'll put you on a little shorter list. I'll let you know whenever we're having a gathering, and you can come and be a part of it. God bless you. We'll see you soon.